What's up with the squad? Back with another video. Y'all seen the title going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. You got President Trump posting this. It says President Trump just posted this from Eric Daugherty, by the way, on X. Says President Trump just posted Kamala Harris panicking that the Save America Act is, if passed, requires people to prove who they are in order to vote. Kamala says you need proof of citizenship, like it's a bad thing. Honestly, you truly see that it's not a bad thing at all. I truly support it. I support it just for the simple fact that y'all gotta think. Things have definitely changed a lot. You know, things have definitely changed a lot. I feel like this is something that will be a safer way to do. The simple fact that Kamala, I should say, and others are complaining about this, I find it, alarming. I find it insane that people aren't paying attention to this. Check it out right here.
Hey everybody, so they're trying to mess with your ability to vote, just to break it all down. You've got the Supreme Court, they just sealed the deal with this case that just came up recently, the Calais decision, which basically took the power out of the Voting Rights Act, which was designed to protect your right to vote. So you got the Supreme Court doing its thing. Then this president is trying to push this SAVE Act, which basically would require that for people to register to vote, you're going to have proof of who you are through a passport, which a lot of Americans don't have, or a birth certificate. Same point, obstacles to make it difficult for you to register to vote.
Not obstacles, obstacle. It's not even really an obstacle. It's one of those things to, go ahead and go do it. Go ahead and, get that figured out and situated. So you'll be able to do that. Now, I look at it too. If you truly are wanting to vote, you truly, want to see a change and you want to see things, for the better and this, that, and the other, you would take those obstacles to go do that. And that's just how I feel. It's definitely very unnecessary. The simple fact that, you have Kamala that's complaining, you have others that's complaining about this. You have it right here, Fox News, on what Kamala has said here.
This president is trying to push this SAVE Act, which basically would require that for people to register to vote, you're going to have proof of who you are through a passport, which a lot of Americans don't have, or a birth certificate. Same point.
Yeah, kind of like when you go to the salad bar at Olive Garden. You're going to have to provide some ID. It seems like a pretty rational thing. But, again...
Do you have to show your ID at the salad bar?
Yeah, apparently. Remember the story a couple of weeks ago that apparently you have to now show your ID at the Olive Garden salad bar. I've got some part of that wrong, but it was something general.
Wow, apparently it's true.
No, that's part of it. And also at the government grocery stores that Mom Donnie's doing.
Yes, that's the best part.
Prove your identity.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't.
Exactly, and I find it unnecessary. I definitely find it necessary. You sitting there complaining about this, but then again, you have those grocery stores. Just what Zaron is pushing for and what he's doing, and I truly don't understand that. You have a bunch of sore losers. Obviously, you have Kamala Harris that is definitely a sore loser with the things that she got going on, and seeing how that went. And on top of that, we looking at the simple fact that there's a huge chance. A really big chance, when it comes down to it, seeing how potentially people are saying, we don't get more into that in a minute, but Kamala on her running, people are saying that, it'd be that JD Vance versus Kamala. If, that, were to happen, we know for sure it'd be pretty bad. And we'll explain further here in a sec after we get done talking as far as this. This Kamala Harris, discussing 2026 midterms with young students. Just listen to what she said.
People here are 18 years old or older. Okay. How many people here are 15 or older? And then I think we have some 12-year-olds here. How about 12 and older? That'd be about everybody.
So she's talking to kids as young as 12. Okay.
Okay. So let me say this. The elections that are coming up in 3 months will determine, depending on if it's local, state, or federal, will determine the next 2 years of your life, the next 4 years of your life, or the next 6 years of your life. Just these elections coming up in 3 months. So part of what we should think about is, what do we want the next 2 years to look like? What do we want the next 4 years to look like? What do we want the next 6 years to look like in our lives? Because these elections will help determine what our government does on a whole lot of issues that will affect us directly and affect our families directly. So, Congressman Richmond, one of the things that I'm doing over these next 3 months is spending in particular a lot of time in the South, especially after that Supreme Court case, Calais, which basically undid the Voting Rights Act that was designed to protect black voters and anybody else who was the subject of discrimination around election laws, undid our power to fight for fairness in elections in that regard. So I'm spending my time to remind people that even though they're trying to put obstacles in front of us, even though they're trying to cheat, because they
cheating, and then she's still running with this whole obstacle. No obstacles. No, it's no obstacles, because you need that passport. You know, you need that. That's to be safe, you know, because you have a lot of individuals that's clearly not even having no sort of idea and be able to do these things. I truly just, I don't understand, you know, and then it again starts within the parents. You know, you got kids that's as young as 12, you know, that's listening to Kamala. And me personally, you know, that's one of the last individuals I want, you know, my daughters to listen to is Kamala Harris.
They are trying to cheat. That's not a reason that we just stay in bed and keep the covers over our heads and say, well, wake me up when it's over. Because things are happening right now. And so we have to be active. And one of the ways with the midterms coming up is to be active in making sure we get out the vote. Now, I say that with this group of scholars to say this: although the majority of you cannot vote, anybody in your life who can vote, you will remind them, I know, of how their vote is going to impact you. You will remind them that if they vote or don't vote, it will have an impact on your life in terms of what happens with the education system, what happens with health.
So what I'm taking out of this is that now Kamala is shooting so low that now she has to go through kids to tell their parents that this is something that will affect my life. Because of, I guess, the L that she's took, because it can't be, I don't know what she's meaning by obstacles. There's no obstacles. I feel like this is definitely one of the safest things to do. I don't know about y'all, but I truly feel like
what happens in terms of affordable child care, maybe for your younger brothers and sisters. The decisions that will be made by the people who are elected in November will impact you. And I know that the scholars here will do everything you can to make sure every adult in your life that can vote understands why your future relies on them voting in November.
I definitely would say that it's something when you're talking to kids, you know, and speaking as far as their future and the things that's definitely important when it comes down to them, you know, stuff like that, because kids are our future. I'm not going to take that away. It's just a simple fact that she's trying to go to kids, to talk to kids, to let them know, okay, y'all need to, whatever adult, whoever, you know, who's able to vote, y'all need to talk to them. Tell them this is my future. I don't want, you know, we listen to Kamala Harris and Kamala Harris is this and Kamala Harris is that. She's trying to push herself this way as much as possible, and it's truly not right. People seen the things that she did with her running her campaign. Just in that short time span, you have Kamala Harris that truly, 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 in a sense, not only wasted so much money and time, but the simple fact of her it's no policies. She took a lot of policies when it came down from President Trump. A lot of policies copied and pasted from Biden. There's a lot of things that Kamala Harris did that truly didn't show that she's capable of being president of the United States. You truly have it right here. And like I told y'all, sis, Kamala Harris and AOC are rumored to be running for president and vice president in 2028. This is honestly, I know that their campaign, I know for a fact that things are going to get so sideways, because even though these are two, leftists, at the same time, you have Kamala Harris and AOC that are both, how could I say this? These two individuals are both, they're not the same. And what I mean by they're not the same, you truly have, when it comes down to the Democratic Party, that a lot of them aren't on the same page with things. And we clearly seen that. We seen that with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. You have it right here, says, I know y'all gonna get a good laugh out of this. Kamala Harris says people are apologizing to her now. She's saying people are apologizing to her now. She claims she's getting calls, texts, and messages from people who didn't vote for her, saying they made a big mistake. Kamala is saying Trump supporters, or Trump voters, voters, actually want Kamala Harris to be president now. I haven't heard that at all. At all. And if you are changing your mind with Kamala Harris, not a good look, I should definitely say. I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to give y'all thoughts on this. Check it out, Fox News.
There today, 1 week after a stop in Nashville, and after throwing support behind Abdul El-Sayed in the Michigan Senate race. Hugh Hewitt is standing by. But first, let's get to our correspondent, Mark Meredith, who's reporting live out of Washington. Hello, Mark.
Sandra, good to see you. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is throwing her support behind Michigan's new Senate nominee, the progressive Abdul El-Sayed, who also once tried to stand in the way of the Biden-Harris renomination back in early 2024. Harris was neutral during Michigan's primary, but this morning she sent out a fundraising email for El-Sayed, who, if elected, would become the first Muslim elected to the Senate. She wrote in a statement, "Abdul knows that we need bold solutions to the crises facing America's working families."
There today, 1 week after.
Not a good look. Says Kamala Harris is clearly gearing up for a 2028 presidential campaign and just endorsed this Mohammed Al-Sayed in Michigan. Says Kamala is speaking at an event right now and could face J.D. Vance in 2028. Again, this is something that I truly don't see her doing really well with. I truly don't see her doing really well with. I don't know about y'all, but I don't see it, just for the simple fact that, we all seen her campaign. Just imagine her campaign. Matter of fact, I'll tell y'all. I'll show y'all better than I can tell y'all. Kamala Harris flushed $1.5 billion down the drain in 100 days. Oprah, you got LeBron James Company, tens of millions of private jets, Beyonce, a whole bunch of things. Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, come on. Check it out.
I have no problem with the way the DNC spent money in 2024. And not since SpaceX have you had a better investment opportunity than Kamala Harris's 98 days on the campaign trail. She spent $1.5 billion, Jesse. Get a load of what she spent on. She spent millions on Oprah, who's already a billionaire. She spent $500,000 in LeBron James's production company. This I did not know. I was looking this up. $3.5 million on influencers to do the coconut dance. Remember that?
Yes,
yeah? Okay.
yes.
She spent $100,000 for the Call Her Daddy podcast, kind of like a podcast, and she took millions and millions of dollars worth of private jets. But this is my absolute favorite. She spent $500,000 to Howard University for her concession speech. So even when she...
She didn't show up for that, did she? I think he about to
So
say that.
even when she lost in a landslide, all 7 swing states, the Electoral College, and the popular vote, she's still losing the DNC money. $500,000 to announce you're a loser.
Wait, you mean her alma mater charged her for speaking there? That was supposed to be the victory speech. And she paid it. She just rang it up. I mean, I would hope that if I won the presidency and I was about to give a big speech, Trinity wouldn't charge me. But you know what? They probably
Jesse,
will if it's me.
I looked up the filings before coming on the show. I just couldn't believe it when I saw that. But these people do want to run the biggest economy, a $40 trillion economy. They want to run it. And you don't want to give these kind of people the access to the keys to the kitty. You really don't, because envy is the driving force of all of this. If you look at communism, communism is effectively just church for people who don't believe in God. It's religion for atheists. And unlike Christians who believe envy is a sin, these people believe envy is a virtue. And so they envy everything that everybody else has, except for generosity isn't one of their virtues. So as soon as they get theirs, they'll keep it. Bernie keeps his islands and private jets. AOC is keeping her flights on the private jets. Ilhan Omar is keeping $30 million.
Yep.
And
it's all messed up.
Elizabeth Warren is keeping her beer.
Right. Well,
But I mean, he can keep going with multiple individuals. He can keep going.
$30 million, and then when the IRS came knocking, it was all of a sudden 90,000. Funny how that works.
I'm telling y'all, one thing about it, I truly feel as if, if she's showing y'all what she's capable of when it comes down to her campaign and the things that she set out, the things that she's done, it should tell y'all everything. You got it right here. Says, Kamala saying, did you want me as your next president? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. Definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Catch y'all next one.